Didache was the early church's version of discipleship, widely used throughout the early church, a collection of sayings, fairly short, that was the manual on how to live for Jesus. That's the same word in Titus that we read doctrine. Better translation would be teaching, the teaching of Christ, how to follow. This Didache was used for centuries by early Christians, but is not really in vogue right now. Why? Because it focuses on Christ-like behavior more than on doctrine. Now, isn't that strange considering the word is translated into doctrine? It just shows how things have changed, that doctrine has become a set of mental assents, a set of things like creeds that we choose to believe in or not to believe in. Whereas in the Didache, the teaching or the doctrine was about how to live. And so this early document talks about how to forgive people, how to love your enemies, how to be like Jesus, how to walk in purity. And then an uncomfortably long section at the end on how to practice hospitality. What does that have to do with being a Christian, right? I have a friend who's homeless and was sleeping in a car, and the car was towed, so he had no place to sleep that night. He wandered the streets, the dark, cold streets, eventually slept behind a department store, rough night's sleep. He needed a place to shower and a place to hang out, and I was gone for the day, so I asked some other friends if they'd be willing to let him use their house during the day. Of course, we know this is a good guy, and he's been hanging out at the church for a while, has developed some good friendships. And so, yes, these people took him in and then offered to let him sleep there for the rest of the week until his next payday. That's hospitality. And maybe you're thinking, what about good boundaries? Ouch. Is that a smart thing to do? Is that safe? You should never give up your boundaries, but you may want to revisit what the boundaries are and where to draw them. The New Testament is all about how we live in addition to and because of what we believe. We cannot separate the two, and when we do, we become hypocrites. Or as Paul said it, these then are the things, Titus, that you are to teach. And in this case, the teaching, didaskalia in the Greek, eventually didache, is not just what we believe, but how we live. How we live.